we live in stories, narratives of ourselves in the world. So many adopt a victim narrative. Shit happened, poor me, and they did it. There's some truth to the victim narrative. And the victim narrative is kind of addicting in that it gives us the emotional payoff of feeling innocent about the past. But it steals our power. Have you ever spent time with someone who droned on about how awful a situation is, yet lacked the capacity to do anything about it? Yikes. Try on a different narrative. Frame your life as the hero's journey. Oh, you've seen this narrative in Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and The Lion King, to name a few. The simple version is that there were challenges that revealed personal power that they eventually shared with others. To go a little deeper, here are the specific key elements of the hero's journey. Call to adventure. The hero receives a summons or challenge that sets them on their journey. In your story, this could be the unexpected thing that happened, the setback that started it all. Next comes the refusal of the call. Initially, the hero may hesitate or resist the call due to fear or other reasons. In your story, this could be where you, the hero, struggled to see the meaning, purpose, or hidden power in the setback. Hey, we've all been there. But that's where the next part comes in, crossing the threshold. The hero leaves their ordinary world and enters a new, unfamiliar realm. In your story, you've lived situations where a setback, a terrible person, changed life as you know it. Life is different, and often not in a good way. But stick with the narrative, because in the hero's journey, the next phase hits, and it's not what you had hoped. Tests allies and enemies. Along the way, the hero encounters trials, gains allies, and faces adversaries. This is both exciting and no fun. Yet the tests, allies, and enemies hone and refine the hero's newfound power. Let this be your narrative as you think about how you've danced with change and grown from it. Speaking of growth, the next phase of the hero's journey is this. Approach to the inmost cave. The hero approaches the central challenge or crisis. Okay, so your story might not include a central challenge where you confront the central challenge, or it might. Maybe that difficult boss could represent this central challenge. See if you can find a way to create your personal narrative that views life's challenges as a way to reveal personal power rather than more victimhood. Next comes a central phase of the hero's journey, and that's the ordeal. The hero confronts their greatest fear or undergoes a significant transformation. You look in the dark closet, the one you've been avoiding for God knows how long, and things work out. You grow. You get wiser. You leaned into the challenge, the dark place, the shadow, and are here to tell the tale. You outgrew the stuck place you struggled with. If this is you, next comes the reward: seizing the sword. After overcoming the ordeal, the hero gains a reward or insight. Let's pause for a second and acknowledge that the hero's journey feels much better than victimhood. You know that in real life you have gained insight, grown from challenges, and know that often breakdowns become breakthroughs. Seizing the sword means acknowledging your growth and living fully in that growth. There's no going back to the weaker version of yourself. With the sword of growth and insight, what comes next? The road back. The hero begins their journey back to the ordinary world. For you, that might mean going back to your high school reunion to realize how much you've grown. Or it might be attending the Thanksgiving dinner with your toxic family as you notice how grounded, emotionally intelligent, and wise you've become. But the road back means that the changed you is interacting with the world differently, and it shows. But this isn't the end of the story. Next comes resurrection. The hero faces a final test or confrontation. You get stuck in traffic and your newfound zen gets challenged. You see your ex and she's trying to push the old buttons. And you stay gray rock and navigate the narcissist with skill. All of this leads to the final phase in the hero's journey, and that is return with the elixir. The hero returns home bringing newfound wisdom or a boon to share with others. No journey is complete without sharing your insights, wisdom, and power with others on a similar journey. They may or may not applaud your wisdom, but that doesn't matter. Your job is to do what you can to help others, regardless of any personal reward you might get from those interactions. And most likely the journey begins again as you confront a new challenge. We live in narratives, and sometimes those narratives take on the victim vibe. Much better is to flip that narrative to the hero's journey. The simple hero's journey narrative is that I experienced challenges and grew in my personal power. I'm here to help those dealing with similar challenges. Let your journey's narrative bring out the most power, passion, and purpose in service to you and the world. Thanks for joining us today at the Change Capability Institute.